me, Wanda B, and it is Sunday. It's fun day. I'm back, y'all, and I brought a guest. She's just not anybody, y'all. This is more. I have Sheroes. Now, it's even better when the Shero has the same name as me, but with doctor in the front. It's extra special when she add a doctor to it. This is really one of my Sheroes. Someone I follow on social media, like I world travel with her and her baby girl. I'm like, oh, we going to school. Where we going, Gia? I mean, I just love her. I love her and everything that she does. So I'm going to introduce her to you. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to read her bio. Now, it's gonna be long, y'all. Cause she that good, she that fabulous. It's not long. Here I go. It is long. No, here we go. Dr. Wanda J. Evans-Brewer, a globe-trotting professor, scholar, activist, education specialist, proud Pan-Africanist, published author, and mentor. She has been an educator for 34 years. Y'all, she from our side of town too. So wait, I'm keep going. Let me stop. I digress. She has been an educator for 34 years. As such, she has taught every level, including Spanish, for 8 years. As a transnational, she has traveled to Africa. What is the smiley face times in 5 years? Well, how many times is that in 5 years? In how many years? Eight. Wow. Times in 5 years and on her own effort. Just amazing, guys. And provides humanitarian aid, academic assistance, has installed solar panels and built many libraries, distributed mobility aids, and installed home toilets in partnership with, how do you pronounce it? Benenif Foundation. She is a servant leader who has done impact work in villages in South Africa, Uganda, Tanzania, Zambia, and Ghana, where she has residency and has lived with her daughter for the past 3.5 years, where she started an online health wellness business called Wonderland's Naturals and Wonderland's Natural Juice, which is FDA approved. Right. In America, she has been active in the fight for improved wages for contingent faculty. As such, she was the focus of two documentaries, Professors in Poverty and Adjunct Professors, The Rise of a Two-Tier System. Additionally, she has been widely quoted in the newspaper on this topic. Besides being a 4-time published author, she hosts a successful internet radio program called Beyond the Surface Radio, which is intelligent internet radio. Hey, just like us at Intellectual Radio, okay? We like intelligent radio, laced with street reality and good old-fashioned wisdom. Dr. Wanda travels with her own 13-year-old daughter, Gia, who she describes as the best travel buddy ever. Wish she was here today. Okay, together they designed a project to lift this self-esteem of the little Black girls in Africa by giving away Black baby dolls as a random act of kindness. Currently, today, she is commemorating the 1-year anniversary of partnering with Benjamin Opari, the CEO of Benin Foundation, to assisting families in Ghana with the installation of home toilets. What was to be 4 turned into 20 complete toilets with 10 in the queue waiting completion. Did I say amazing? Yes, absolutely amazing. And she's here to talk about all of that. Now, she's no stranger to Intellectual Radio. In fact, she's been a guest here a few times, I think right before she was leaving for her journey. And we thought, like, wow. And then one time in between, have you been home in between? Yeah. One time at home in between. But now she's here doing more work for Ghana. You're home now. Do you consider yourself, but how do you consider where you live now? Which is home? Both?
Oh, this is definitely home. Listen, I'm not a person that travels abroad and is anti-America.
Okay.
Because our ancestors built this. So for me, it would be denying them. So this is home. But I feel like the prayer of Jabez, I have expanded territory. So I have more than one home. Okay.
I love it. Yeah. I want more than one home. Okay, guys, you are more than welcome to call in 708-223-8953 if you like to ask any questions, because I'm telling you, this is going to be a fabulous conversation. And if you have questions about it, because one of our shows leading out of here, our 1:00 show, I said I said, mention some of the things you did, and they said, "What? Like, how do they go to the bathroom now?" I was like,
In the bush.
and I
Many
said,
70% of them in the bush.
I said, you know
Yeah.
what? That's a very good question, and I'll start off just there.
Hmm.
So you provided toilets to Ghana. How do they currently go to
Well,
the
it's not all of Ghana. There are portions of Ghana is a very advanced African nation. It is, the English speaking is strong. You can find many of the things that you find here, you can find in Ghana. So if you wanted to go there and buy a cell phone, or you was looking for Mac makeup or any of that, they have an efficient mall, and you can go to the movies, and so there is that advancement there. But it also has portions of its nation that's underdeveloped. And so it's not uncommon across the continent to find that sanitation is an issue. And particularly around toilets, and it's not just Africa, even other parts of the world, that we assume everyone has the convenience of a home toilet, and they don't. But in that nation, it's about 70% of them where they used to use in the bush, or do you use a community toilet, meaning it's like kind of like when we go to, say, Fred Hampton Aquatic, those toilets would be for the community. It wouldn't just be for the swimming pool, and you pay a fee and you use it.
you pay
Okay.
a fee?
Oh, you got to pay something, because somebody got to come in there and clean it up and bring water. And so they don't have, all the areas don't have sophisticated water systems, septic systems. So yeah, for me, it became an issue because many of them use when they're not near a bush, or they haven't dug a hole. Okay, then they're using those black bags, some same black bags that the Arabs give us in the gas stations, right? Those black bags.
The black like bags that they will carry their
Yes, I consider them.
potato chips
Yes,
and now laters out
yes.
of the are the same ones used as
Yeah, I mean they're all over the world as
yeah,
mess, because they don't biodegrade. They you don't remember what's in the bag, so you can have something in there and literally it's rotting. But they use them to boo boo in, so they'll put it in that and tie it and throw it. The problem with that is, over here we have 4 seasons. Pretty much Africa has two. It has a rainy season, okay, and in that rainy season, that water comes down, and those same bags that you just tossed anywhere begin to move toward water sources, okay, or the water will loosen up, that knot that you had makes it loose, and then what you have is fecal making its way into water,
the water system.
water into ground, that will lead to water sources. So it is the reason that you see issues of typhoid or cholera. It's the cause of sickness. It causes a lot of problems. And yeah, that for me, they don't make a big enough deal about it. Um, and I don't know why, I can't speak to that, but if you're living in that nation, which Gia and I are living in a nation, you have a choice. You can pretend like it's not your problem. Oh, that's them. That's their problem. Because the place I'm staying, yes, I have a functioning toilet. But if you're living there, you're going out and you're milling about. Okay. And so someone is preparing food for you, or you're at the beach, you're doing all these activities. What's the likelihood of you getting sick? Well, it's rising. Okay, because if I don't have a proper septic system, if I have a proper way to wash my hands, sanitation, then people still prepare things. They're still going to live. They're still, you understand, the hustle don't stop because things are broke down. In fact, people try to press past it. Um, and we're coming to that nation in our numbers, huge. Ever since that call of return in 2019, American blacks, the diasporans, have been coming there in huge numbers. Okay, so you're not safe. So I felt like it wasn't something I wanted to ignore. Um, that's one issue. The other issue is I live among the people. I'm not a person that lives in the major city of Accra. In any place I go to, I really like um, village township life. Okay, that's where you really find out what's going on. That's where you really learn about culture and community, and but also I don't like the them and us. I'm not trying to build that them and us kind of a feel. I'm not a party girl. I'm not any of that. So if I'm going to serve, I want to serve in the places where people's hope was low, like they felt like who would ever come here, and they just needed just a little bit of sunshine. So I present myself as the light, okay, and so I'm among them. So then I get to see the good, the bad, the ugly. Okay. And so, even in my apartment, which I have a fairly nice apartment, I open up my gate. And so homes are homes. Some of them are brick homes. Some of them are shanties. Some of them, are wooden. So you don't know what you're going to get in terms of a home because people live in whatever structure they can afford, which means that you're going to see people using, relieving themselves. And it's been a couple of times, like some really beautiful girls, coming of age, beautiful, and you look out and you see them squatting, or you see them split their legs and urinate. And I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like it. So, the thing about the American Black is that, we're the original grassroots activists. Okay. And so, I stand on the shoulders of the American Black. That's the ancestor energy I take with me wherever I go, because I'm not copying an African. I'm African by descent, but I'm not copying you because I don't actually know that history. I know our history. So wherever I'm at, which is why the company is called Wanda Lands, wherever I land, that's where the blessings come. So within the community of where I'm at, or if a community calls me out, I'll go. But I wanted to solve that because I'm solutions driven. What can we do to fix that? So inadvertently, I met Benjamin Apari, who is Airway. He is, a native son of Ghana. Okay. And he also is an environmental inspection officer. So he's a person that goes through the community and corrects those errors. Okay. Like if he sees you doing open defecation, because 70% of the country does it. They do open defecation, meaning that you'll see men turn around and urinate. People go and they squat, whatever.
And there's no laws against doing
Well,
that,
they
right?
discourage it. There is and there isn't, but it's hard to enforce because how are you enforcing it if I don't have a toilet? You understand? So it's they stuck between a rock and a hard place. But that's his job. He spends more of his time educating and trying to really encourage them to follow the rule of the law. But meeting
Which
him,
is
which is use a bathroom, like go to a public one of the community restrooms. But
are they few and far between?
they are, if you're traveling, like just imagine you're coming to my house and you have one, but you come to my house and you say, Doc, I need to use the bathroom, and I'm like, okay, here's the bag, go over there. What can you say? Yeah, I mean, and so that's what it is. Yeah. So yeah, what he did was he told me about a government program called GAMA, okay, which is like Greater Accra Metropolitan something. I can't remember what the acronym means, but the bottom line is the government had a program to cover 60% of a home toilet for Ghanaians, okay, in the Greater Accra area.
So
Okay.
they do they have to apply for this, or how do they
You got
get
to
this?
apply for it, but now they're covering 60%. So the Ghanaian would have to come up with the other 40%. And so he was telling me like a lot of the Ghanaians couldn't afford the 40%. So some toilets had been done, many had not been done. Where the funding was coming from was the World Bank. And so I listened to it and I said, give me the math. So what it was 1,200 Ghana, which really mathematically worked out to be 125 US. And so I said, you mean if we could get 125 US dollars, we could see to the installation of toilets? He was like, yeah. So I said, what comes with that? And what came with that was the unit itself, the box, the toilet, a biodigester, because they need far less water. You don't need all of that septic system that you would need if you was like doing a flushing toilet, okay? And then you get a basin. You get a basin to be able to wash your hands. The door shuts. It's like what we would have called an outhouse.
That whole
Unit. Okay.
only $125.
Yeah.
I mean, I shouldn't say only, but
Yes.
only
Okay. But
120.
that amount of Ghana is a lot. So just to give you a perspective, let's say like the average teacher would be making 300, 400 Ghana a month. So the toilet is 1,200 Ghana. Can you see the problem? Yeah. So, but for me, it was solvable.
1,200 a month or a one-time fee of
Well, the 350, 400 Ghana would be for the month for an educator, for a teacher.
what they make
Right. So now the toilet is 1,200 Ghana a month. Can you see the problem?
a month.
Yes. Well, 1,200 Ghana for just one.
Just one. So
Right.
that's months of income.
Yes.
You have to eat. There's so many other things that 300 Ghana needs to be used for.
Yes. One of them is getting back to the job. to make the other
Right.
three. Yeah. So
So
it was just
it's a
too,
luxury.
it's a luxury. It's too expensive. So I said, okay. At that time, because I told you today we're, this month we're commemorating it. This was Thanksgiving, and I said, okay, in the U.S., this is our month to say thanks.
So let me go back the 1 year because I
Okay.
don't think I brought that up. 1 year ago, you're commemorating what exactly?
1 year ago, me and him came up with the idea to raise funds to do toilets for 4 families. It's 4 weeks in Thanksgiving, and so we said, we think we can do four. We was confident we could at least pull off four, and it's a year later, and we've done 20.
Wow.
But this is not, this isn't as much as it's our partnership. It is the amazing hearts of my Maywoodian family, of the U.S., of the diaspora, but many of my Detroit people, my Chicago people, old colleagues that I've worked with, students who have become adults. They're adults now. It is, yeah, it's my U.S. family that have opened up their hearts and their minds and said, you know what, this is one I'm willing to sacrifice a little change for, and I'll help you. So with that help, so you see, that's a lot of help that came out of my
A lot of
community.
help.
Yeah. So I told him, I said, there's no way I'd let the month go and not celebrate that, especially since I happen to be home. Okay. I
Home
happen to
here
be
to give
here.
thanks.
Yeah. To give thanks. And so, but also it's mind blowing for us because we said four, the father said 20, and we have, like 10 toilets
I
in the
think I
queue.
need to purchase one in the name of intellectual
Hey,
radio.
we're sure
I
I
think
do it.
intellectual radio need a toilet over in Ghana. We gonna add that to that. Let's
All
make it
right.
21.
Okay. Shoot. I love it.
We're gonna make that 21 today. I am so moved, and wow, how much we take for granted the
Yeah.
little things.
Yeah.
The little things when we turn on the water and wash our hands, where it's
Yeah.
been, where it's going to, who we that we just go right now and go sit down and use it and come out and wash our hands and think nothing of
Think
it.
nothing.
It's
Yeah.
amazing to me just how much we really need to give thanks for all we've been given and
Yes.
really give back. And I
Yes.
love that you give back. So, what started your journey? I'm going to back up some. What
Oh.
started the initial journey? Now, you guys, I see. I'm wondering this, and I heard the story, but it moved me then, and I want to pass this on and let
Oh.
it move you now because it always, even from the beginning, it's been a journey of giving back and and moving forward and giving of yourself, and then also the story for Gia. And I remember I watched Facebook, y'all. I act like I know her like this. Gia, when she first went, and the way she carried herself. And if you saw a woman, a little girl, a blossoming young lady now with the confidence that Ghana has given
Oh,
her,
Africa in general. Because,
Africa
she's
in
been to
general,
every nation.
every
So,
nation.
mhm.
She has been to every nation, and
Yeah.
it shows in every bit of who she is.
Mhm.
You can watch it, not shy, but just a regalness
No,
that
she
has
actually was
was shy.
shy.
I would say
She
shy.
was
You
shy.
would see shyness, and I was saying that having. I think I've met her in person once, but just seeing as you watch her move, and then to see this regalness that she walks so powerful in her
Mm.
presence now, and you go, okay, I see you. It's beautiful to watch. It's beautiful to watch. It's beautiful to see why when you go get your hair done, when you go her clothes, and then when she had on her school clothes, just the how proud you feel watching the journey.
I'm super proud of Gia because it's only me and her. So it's not like she goes over there and she even has another American kid to relate
Not
to.
one.
No. So, and then the other thing is, it's my choice not to put her among in an international school or put her among other diasporans. When we there, it's just me and her. So she adapts well, and she is incredibly, and she has incredible courage because at some point you're leaving her amongst the people, and she has to manage and navigate.
Navigate.
And I will say this: she has always been, nosy, and that ear is strong, and that has been a saving grace for her because she is able to speak one of the languages. She speaks some pretty good Ga, and she speaks a little bit of Ga Damwe. So she understands more than she can say. She is still struggling with her tree, but she knows some has some mastery over that. But no, she is a amazing kid to be there, and she was Annie the average brat, because she's the only child with siblings. The sibling before her is 12 years older, and then my son, the oldest, is 36. Yeah, so she's 13 and he's 36. So you already see, like, yeah, um, yeah, she's managed to thrive and make friendships and build strong bonds, and that elder system is very, very strong in Africa. So part of the reason I don't want to bring her back, especially until she gets through high school, is that they're just things you can't say to an adult. And it's not having to coach a kid, is that it's cultured in. You would never raise your voice. You would never question them. You When they ask them to do something, they're already in motion. And for a lot of what we have here, when they started pulling black men out of schools, and then breaking down the schools, and then pulling black people out in general, and then having these accelerated programs where you bring people that are not familiar even with your community, like you're from Seattle, or you're from Texas, or you're from Georgia, and they put them in a Chicago school with no understanding of the blocks and family systems or any of that. That they destroyed the structure of our classrooms. Because when I was going to school, we were respectful. We had corporal punishment. We respected our elders. And now we have situations where children are actually fighting teachers and arguing. And I've never thought I'd get to a time where black youth were so intimidated that not only is the bullying on steroids, but black youth kill themselves. We never had black children that committed suicide. Even coming out of slavocracy, we didn't commit suicide. So I see some of them challenges, and I know she's by herself. She doesn't have a squad of cousins. She don't have she don't have anybody. And I want her to have her adolescent years in peace. So I sacrifice the conveniences of America to make sure that she at least has that much normacy in herself. And so that's what you're seeing. You're
A
seeing the
healthy
pain.
foundation that
Yeah,
you're laying
yeah,
for her.
because what they have is poverty, but and poverty is not. What Mandela said is it's man-made, it's unnatural, it doesn't have to be there, but that has nothing to do with moral fiber, integrity, being decent. Like who in Ghana carries a gun? No one. The military carry a gun. Okay, the police. Um, who in Ghana would allow you to get beat up by a group? No, they would. A teacher. The whole village would beat you down if you was doing this. You understand that it's an impossible thought, and that's helping her. That's helping her learn to control herself. That's helping her learn to show respect. Now she's still her, but I saw great growth with her that I don't think by myself, because there's too many influences I would have had. So that's what you're seeing. You're seeing what that culture has given her.
And I will say we used to we had that, I think,
Ain't no
here.
kinds of, we had it.
We had it.
Mhm.
I don't know, you being an educator, maybe you can educate me on what has happened to that. But we had that growing up. We had the respect. We had
Mhm.
we knew that we gave teachers respect. It wasn't that your parents would say, "What did you do to my child?" The teacher was kind of right. And
Mhm.
it was no coming
Mhm.
home and saying, "She does this, do what she says." I mean,
Mhm.
and everybody in the block could also lay their hand. If they saw you do something, they would reprimand you
Mhm.
themselves. It wouldn't be wait till your mother gets
I
home.
remember them
They
grandmas
would,
in the
great
window.
grandmas will come get you, or they gonna tell so quick that when you saw
Mhm.
them, you're like, "Oh no, I'm busted," because they've seen it and they're gonna tell.
Mhm.
And things have changed so much here that I would also welcome a place where you could raise your children and not
I
have to worry
I
about
wish I
that.
could. Sometimes I listen to some of the issues some of my friends have with their children. I wish they would send them to be with me, and I could get them in schools, and because their kids would be upset at first. But it's nice to go outside and simply play. It's nice to have a basic argument, and it doesn't carry over to a pumpkin head, a straight beat down. But it's nice, and she doesn't worry about
Gunshots.
violence. Yeah, not that level. No, she at all. It at all. It's a peaceful nation.
And
Mhm.
that is so. So I ask, and I'll go back because I know I may have cut you off. What made you go in the first place? What was that?
Um, being a PhD on welfare, I sort of, got pushed out to um try to see what other options were for me. When corporate America put its hands onto public education,
The
even just
charter schools
just
and
all well, it's all that
all of it.
charter.
Order.
It's going to reform it, make four small school. Like they every time they experimented on black youth. Okay, because why don't they pick the schools in strong Ivy League schools? Why don't they break them down and test something on them? So yeah, between leaving public education, which I was making a very good income with that, and going, which is natural that you would go to the next level, which is higher education. I wasn't ready to leave education. I still had more to give it, but I couldn't find no peace in it. So here I am. Um, I got a home. I have my family to care for, and then they made it where you couldn't make a living. I was working and not working. You didn't know if you was gonna get a class. Then you get a class, and they take the class away. Then you understand, and it just got ridiculous. And so I said, I can't believe this. Like I have the highest degree. There's no degree higher than a PhD. I've earned it legitimately. I had to actually write the paper. I'm not a trust fund baby. I don't come from the Kennedys. I don't, I didn't sleep with the committee to get the degree. Okay, so but I'm literally in Melrose Park at the WIC of the welfare office getting a link card and
With the
and
highest
yeah,
degree there
and
is.
and
And
and I couldn't make peace with it. So when Brave New Films reached out to ask me to talk about it, which I was one of the few academics at that time that would talk about it because it was embarrassing. Okay, I wasn't embarrassed because I didn't do nothing wrong, and so I felt like I'm gonna tell everybody. Anybody want to hear this story? I'm gonna tell it because I knew I was in trouble when white men was complaining about the same thing. And that's a kind of a protected group. I said they moving back in with their parents, they losing their homes, they on wealth. Oh no, this ain't gonna get better no time soon. And it was from that little documentary that came and they interviewed me, and the thing went viral, and people started reaching out to me, and part of who reached out to me were Africans. Okay, and they were saying if you was any place else, it was one in particular said if you was any place else in this world, they would respect your academics, and they would scoop you up, okay, for all your academics, your experience, the degrees, okay. And then he said, um, the motherland needs you. And I had no interest in the motherland. It was only something that was on the bucket list. Um, I was always Afrocentric, but I can't tell you, no, I was not interested. And I thought, I don't know what happened that day. It was like the whole world opened up. And so
they were reaching for you. It was like they
I
were
just said,
calling you.
yeah, I had to go see. I said, you know what? Let me go see. And it started from there. And it was just supposed to be sort of an environmental scan, like me go scout and see. And I got there, and what I learned was, I said, they tricked us. They lied to us. They had us thinking, um, they was scratching themselves and coming out of huts, and everything was, they was catching, fish with their teeth, and amuka. And I got that. I'm like, oh my God, they got paved roads and beautiful apartments. That the gamut is on the continent. You understand? It's everything from palaces to shanties. So you fall in financially or social, social economically with what suits you. But it's rich with everything else. Everything is big and plush and green and full of so much. They just have an outside source, um, for lack of a better phrase, just raping them, just constantly extracting from them. And but otherwise, no, there's nothing wrong with Africa. And it made me think back to Malcolm X. He said, Africa's beautiful. Why else would they keep going there? Why do they keep going there? And I said, oh, I see why they go there. I see.
You got to see
I
firsthand.
got to see firsthand, and I've been in love ever since.
Okay, so
Mhm.
I'm gonna move forward to
Yes.
Wonderland and your natural juices and all the things you started creating while you were
Yeah.
there?
Well, I had an argument with my son. I got to a place where my son wanted me to come. I think it was like maybe my fourth or fifth visit. He was like, "You just need to sit down now. Why don't you sit down and find a job in the Maywood area or somewhere?" I was still working for Concordia at that time, and yeah, he just was tired of all of it. Like, every time I look, you trying to raise money and you're doing all this outreach. I'm have a seat, and it just completely offended me because I was always a mother that allowed them to have wings. You understand? Whatever little crap they came, I'm a tap dancer. Okay, now you're a DJ. All right, now you're playing soccer. Then you're on the baseball team. Whatever it was, I went along with it and I supported it. And I'm like, what? I don't know what it is with the aging parent that they think for some reason we don't still dream, we don't have aspirations, that the rocking chair and chewing snuff and some tobacco is what's for me. No, that's not for me either. So we've never had a conflict. It's my alpha and my omega that I'm best friends with, my first one and my last. So I said to him, he said, "Okay, I'll tell me how you can be on the continent and take care of my sister and don't bring up no man. I don't want to hear nothing about no man. How do you plan to do that? And I support you." And so that's at the bar. Okay. I said,
Okay,
"Oh,
I'm impressed at your son even having this conversation
okay."
with you.
That because he
I'm
had been
impressed
very
kind of
help.
with it.
He had been extra helpful to me. If I'm running short on the ticket, if I need that extra, he's part of the team that has helped me. So I have a phrase I say, take my money, take my mouth. You don't get to ask me for my money. You don't get to ask me for my time, and you don't want to hear my opinion. You understand? So that's a little bit in him. So okay, but yeah, he set the bar high for me, and I liked it. I said, I think I can do
You
this.
rose to that challenge.
Yeah. So I've tried a couple of things. I tried chickens in Uganda. That did okay, but nothing I could live off of. I tried them, and they poultry, all of that stuff is amazing. Okay, but if you're not there to manage it, depending on who hands you fall in, you can always lose. Okay, because scarcity and poverty make you a good target. Somebody can get your money and play with you. Okay, all right. Then I have a microfinance company in Tanzania. It's been there maybe like 4 or so years. It helps that community where I do my outreach. And that's where I have my greatest assets. I have a little villa. I have built me a round house. I have cows. I have chickens. I have some goats. And I haven't been there in a while because everything's been Ghana. But there I have the microfinance company. And so, yeah, it's made some money for me. What it is uh, maybe it's me and you going shopping for a day. You understand? So it ain't no real money, but it's money. So I don't put it down because I did the company because I didn't like them begging me for things. You call them, mama, we need school fees. Mama, I got malaria. Can you help me? No, 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 no. What is the issue? The issue was little baby money to me. Okay. Like you said with the toilets, $126 to American, $150 to American is not a lot of money. But over there, it's a lot of money. Okay. So it gave them back their dignity. So they had a simple way to borrow money that wasn't predator lending. Okay. And I built an incentive where when you pay back, the interest rate lowers. And if you pay back again, it lowers and it's your grandfathered in. Because the same predator lending that they do with us, they do with the African. Okay. They have it at an interest rate where they're going to take their collateral. And these things are very hard earned by them. So yeah, I tried that. I tried my Wandy pads where I tried to have the reusable pad because that's a huge problem on the continent where girls miss time in school because like in Ghana, they tax the pad. It's something they should not do, but they actually tax it. And so it's expensive. And I gave you an idea of what incomes can be like. Okay. So if you, if the pad is, if you're making 300, 400 Ghana a month and to buy the pad is 50 Ghana, you see that's
They
eating
can't
into, yeah,
afford
yeah,
that.
it's too much. Okay. And when groups get disturbed, they take away natural methods that they had to manage these things. I know in Uganda, the natural way was to work with banana fiber. These companies, these people come in and they start telling you your method is no good. You understand? And then you go to their method that requires you to go to the store and buy something. And then you find out you can't even afford what they put in place. And it's not biodegradable. It's just going to sit there and fill up and be an eyesore in the land, okay, health hazard. No, so I did that. I still do the windy pads. I donate them, but it went nowhere. But then when I learned about the juice business with my now estranged husband, he talked to me about juice, and I said, okay, that I think I can do because we juice over here. I'm older. I know the value of nutrition density, getting the maximum nutrition so that you actually are not starving. I want to be healthy, and I wanted something that I actually believed in and could talk about, and but also do. And so that pushed that project. And I went there to, besides moving there to get out of the COVID atmosphere and get out of the depression of being locked in the house. I went there to help that business get legs. And I discovered he was a great juice maker, but a terrible businessman. He wasn't a businessman at all. And then I had to, divest from that, which led me to the online business of Wanderlands Naturals, which gave me, because I'm over there, I'm around baobab powder and neem powder and precocet and all of this natural medicine that is just hanging on the trees and all around. And this is how they have been taking care of themselves for ages. Okay. And so I said, wow, my people don't have access to this. They don't have mango leaves where they can control their diabetes. Okay. They don't have these special ointments that help the skin heal extra fast. And so I made myself a student of like 3 of the various community herbalists. And so I am a herbalist in training by the authentic herbalist. Okay. And all of them specialize in something different. So some only do lactation and womb care. Some are only work with issues with high blood pressure. Some only work with issues with men and manpower. And so I made myself available to learn from them. And then once I knew between them and I call it YouTube University, learning how to make my own oils and that whole thing. Yeah, I opened up my store. And so that's how Gia and I have been living off of the income from that. So the
That is
income works
beautiful.
there. Is baby money here, but it sustains a really, really nice life for us in Ghana. So that's how those things happen. Now, when the marriage broke up, we still okay. When we split, okay, or rather, I tossed him. Um, he kicked me back my company. He said, "Just take it. Since I'm so mean, you take your juice company." And he kicked it back to me with the full belief I couldn't do it. And no, I'm not a juice maker, but you don't get a PhD because you're slow. Okay. So, and I've built some solid relationships. I've done so much outreach that there was a lot of goodwill for me to help me get over some of the hurdles and humps and navigate me through a lot of red tape. And yeah, I am delighted and excited to say that I actually have uh, my FDA license to produce this juice. And that, ma'am, is not small.
That's not small, not
No,
easy to even
no,
get to achieve. That is
no.
amazing.
It is.
Oh my
It
goodness.
is.
I mean, it makes you want to pack up and say, I'm going, even though I'm a bit chicken. But I mean, it really, I think, takes a little courage too.
I,
Because
I didn't have listen. It take courage to stand in the welfare line with a PhD,
that's true. But that's true. That's
and
still a
and
big challenge.
and it's messing with you. I got to a place,
Mentally.
Wanda, where I was like, "You so stupid. You went back to school to get all this debt, and you can't even keep." Like I was starting to regret it, and then I was like, "No, no, you don't do that. I have a right to be a doctor. I earned that."
You earned it.
Yes.
And I love that they can read this across the world and say, "Come here, because we love you. Earned it. Bring it here."
Yeah.
Where we
Well, that's the thing. The African values education. They value it. they value, many of them are overqualified and underemployed, and that's part of their wanting to come to America, is that yeah, they're very educated and have lots of degrees. They just don't have they struggle to have an income that respects that level of education.
which is the same here a little bit. I mean,
But now here, let's put it in perspective.
okay,
The poverty line in the US is at about 25,000 a year. If you had 25,000 a year, you can apply for a medical card, for a food stamp card, for subsidized housing, right?
right.
Those things exist for you. Okay, those social service things don't exist there. There's no
No
no,
assistance for
no,
anything.
they don't have it, even for elders. So everybody runs with the pack. When you saw that in Lion King with the Serengeti, everybody is running with the pack, old and young, and so that's one setback. The other setback is the poverty line. Oh, well, for them, okay, you would be at 3 to 6 thousand a year. You see the difference? 6,000 between 25. So, no,
But they still don't even offer the services for that person.
they don't have the social service structure in place. So, maybe one day somebody will. And listen, let's get it straight. The American Black has fought for a lot. A lot of these things are things, when I think about the Black Panthers, and I have a brother that's 7 years older than me, okay, and a cousin who's 10, and she remembered when the Black Panthers in their food program, when they were not, now of course the state took it over, and which was originally theirs, okay, they took credit for it, but it was the Black Panthers that gave us breakfast before school, because they said, you can't learn if you're hungry. So I think about their ambulance program. They was the ones, because whites wouldn't come get us. They set it up where we could be picked up if we was injured. I mean, it's a lot that we've done. That's why I say that I stand on the shoulders of Black folks now. Okay, the things that they've put in place. That original scholarship came out of that Black church. Right, they would collect that money in them coffee cans and pickle jars, and whoever was the brightest in the church got that money to go off to school, and their job was to reach back and help another. Okay, so this ain't me. This is as much as this is me, as me be exposed to a grassroots activist mindset that is very much, especially in that Black woman, Mary McLeod Bethune, opening her school for $1.50. Bethune Cook is still here as part of the HBCUs. I keep that history inside of me to remember, like, when you're serving, who are you representing? How do you get the opportunity to do this? Why has this fallen into your place? So I know that I'm chosen for the assignment. And I did a lot of good service here. When I was in I taught over at Orr High School, Chicago Avenue, Pulaski, for 11 years. And so a lot of my training in terms of managing being away from home, being scared, being stressed, it comes. If you can survive that community, that environment, it ain't too much that's gonna scare you.
Wow. We just to give a little plug to the Black Panthers, Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. has a show here 6:30 on Wednesdays,
Wow.
Free All Radio, and so we're very happy to listen to the work that he continues to do as well.
Right on, right on.
Because he weekly is telling us, we get to witness people calling him, asking him for help, and that they haven't stopped. That refrigerator outside of their house that you can drive by now, and there's food in there. Or it's just amazing that it's quietly kept. It's quiet, but people have continued to do that kind of work too.
Yeah.
So I know a little bit about that. I still find it absolutely amazing what you do, how you do it, the tenacity to do it, when the fearlessness to do it, the I hear your drive and what drove you to it, but at the same time, we can all be afraid and we stay. we stay
True.
where we are. We don't make moves. We don't make big moves like that. And we let our fears stifle us from. There's many now, especially in these times and after COVID era of people highly educated doing things that they wouldn't normally have done because of that, and to watch you say, okay, I'm going to do more. It's very commendable. It's amazing what you've done, what you continue to do, your strength in doing it, your to come back and keep growing, giving and taking it back with you. It's just amazing. And so if people want to help,
Hmm.
if they want to say, okay, I want to give something, it may not be a full amount, or they want to just chip in and be a part. How do they go about doing this?
Well, I'm Dr. Wanda Evans-Brewer on Facebook, on TikTok. I keep the same name on YouTube. They can simply message me. I am not a not for profit on purpose. I don't want to put together a board. I don't want to manage taxes or anything. What I do is impact work. Okay, you say, Doc, I like what you're doing with wheelchairs. How much does a wheelchair cost? And um, I say eighty
Did you even
dollars.
mention what you do with wheelchairs? Throw that in there.
Oh well, we distribute them because the truth is, you see, there's no social service program. So for us, we would simply, find an agency or a caseworker will come and assess you, right? But yeah, a lot of them can't afford mobility aids. There's no way to even get notice that you need one. So because I partner with an NGO, which is the equivalent of a not for profit in Ghana, I will partner with one that has integrity, because there are some issues with NGOs that really, they're NGOs, but they're really there to kind of collect. Like, I'm running it, but I'm not actually doing much but collecting the money and distributing a little bit here and there. But I allowed myself to. I've done work with You Found Ghana Arts, because she's a sister that comes out of Oakland, and she's also a Africa girl. Okay, but her spot is Ghana. I've done some with Auntie Vic. She comes from like the Louisiana area, but Auntie Vic Foundation, she works with in the Zongo community with a lot of the Muslim community. That's where she's landed. But just a huge, but another American Black, huge activist. So I have done that. But Benin Foundation is the first African NGO that I specifically stand firm with, because when I met him, he had already been around for 5 years, but he has a golden heart, meaning that like he was even to the point like using his own money out of his own pocket, and that doesn't work for the grassroots activists, because we can't work if we can't feed ourselves. We still have to feed ourselves. We still have to have transport, all of that kind of good stuff. So yeah, they just have to reach out to me, the woman, and you have to. Most of the people that support me have been watching the work, and they trust that whatever they give me is going to get applied to what I say. You understand? And I only take on what I can manage. I'm by no means a god. I'm not a demigod. No. And so that's why mobility is something I can manage. I can see that you need a cane, okay, and I can go get you a cane and come back and get the cane. I can do that. What I can't do is, let's say you have a cleft palate, or you have the elephant leg disease. That I keep, information for places like Doctors Without Borders or Mercy Boat. Those are people that have the wherewithal and the resource to do that. And I personally like um, helping the small guy, because I've been the small guy where you were sitting there like, if I just had $50, I could I could get out of this rut, and it's just nowhere for it to come from without losing your integrity. Because these are people that don't want to. They're not stealing. They're not lying. They're not cheating. They're just in a plight. Yeah. So just look for me on Facebook. And I let people get in where they fit in. So if you want to give, give. I post my projects. If you don't want to give, you don't have to give. Because I literally, at this juncture, I literally rely on the Father.
And so this wasn't even this isn't anything, I will say, that Dr. Wanda Evans-Brewer asked me to say. Wasn't coming on to get it really was to tell the story.
I just want
Just
them
to
to
say
know.
give thanks.
I want to give thanks
this
for these
month.
toilets, and tell my people in Maywood, in
Thank
Detroit,
you.
Michigan, all my former students at OR, at Concordia. Thank you. They have loved me through these projects, and Benjamin is so thankful to them, because it is you all that have pushed this project. We didn't do it by ourselves.
So this was more of a thank you mission. I'm throwing that in there.
She
The other
showing I
stuff.
love her for it though.
I'm throwing that in there because I know I felt moved to get, because this is someone. How long have you been in Ghana? Or I know you've been all over Africa, but when did you first go?
Ghana started in 2019.
And when you first went,
2019.
2019.
2019.
I've been following that journey. I mean, I scroll to see where are they at, what are they doing. I watched the store open. I watched when the juices first started. I even saw some of the conflict. I mean, I follow. I'm not joking.
She not.
I follow. I watch it all, and I've been mesmerized. I've seen Gia going to school, Gia with her classmates dancing. I've seen the uniform when she got a uniform. I mean, I follow it. So this is something I feel passionate about because I've watched your journey. It wasn't even something you went there to do. It's like like it unfolds as you're there. You see a need. In fact, I saw yours when you brought your little portable one with you.
Oh, my portable toilet when I first went. Girl,
I saw your portable toilet.
You know who has that, right?
A chief. Oh, I saw you give it to a chief.
The chief asked for it. Yeah, he still got it.
He still. That was so. You chronicle your life there in Ghana, which I'm amazed that we can see it like in real time as it's happening. So I followed that whole journey. So it's something that I know. That's why I felt that to say, okay, well, if anybody else wants to do it, because it is a worthy cause. And and I'm the same way. When people say, oh, give to this big, I'd rather hand somebody one thing and give it to that person.
Because you affected that life.
Exactly. I prefer to give that way. I keep a stash of money in my glove compartment when I feel that here. Like I just
girl, you better not say that on this show.
Oh yeah, I did. On the World Wide Web. It's only $5, y'all. Don't be trying to break in my car. That ain't big money now. Don't even go there. And I gave it away. It's there to give away. It ain't even there to keep in there. It's there to give to a person. So it goes. It depletes when when my money depletes. I didn't mean that. Goodness gracious. Okay, but anyway, I really do. I've watched it. I've felt it. I feel the impact. I've watched the impact you have, and I was so honored when you when you contacted me about wanting to give thanks while you were here in town to do it. And I'm so thankful that you did it. So again, reach out to her. I'm going to put the information in the comments.
Thank you.
Because I do know we're going to make it easy for you in case you want to do it. And I thank you.
Thank you, Wanda.
Thank you for making a difference.
To another,
from one Wanda to another. We've had that connection from day one when you came in here. And so I really...
Are you a February baby?
Yes, I think we have that connection too.
When's your birthday?
February 14th.
Okay. Oh, I'm the 3rd. But
okay.
Shoot, all right.
We both, okay, there's another
And don't forget, I got a gift for you.
Oh. So before I go, let's do the gift, guys.
Okay, this is highlighting an artist.
Go into the microphone.
Okay, this is highlighting an artist that I met. There's a lot of amazing artists over in Ghana. This is called Wearable Art.
Wearable Art.
Yeah, her name is Rebecca Mensah. And so you can do both. You can wear it.
Okay? Oh, pretty lady.
And then when you're tired of it,
she matches my outfit right now.
Okay, let's put it on.
Oh, it becomes a wearable art.
Yes, wearable art. She had an art show, and that's what she does. That's one of the things that she does, is that she creates wearable art. And her name is, again, Rebecca Mensah. MENSEH.
This is so beautiful.
Yeah, you look good, girl.
I love it.
So what I do when I wear mine, I just wear sort of like plain. Yeah, although this is picking it up.
This
picking it up.
Corners here.
Yeah, let me take my little picture. You look so cute, and I'm sure
picking up my
Rebecca. But I said I cannot come on the show and not give you a gift.
Oh, thank you.
From Ghana.
Comes from Ghana. This is so amazing. I'll spill food on it. I eat like a 2-year-old, and I have food going, so I'm gonna have to hang it.
Okay. Occasionally, just one day.
Okay, now one day though.
One day,
I'm not eating.
Go out. Let me see you, Wanda. All right, let me see you. Well.
This is so beautiful. Thank you. I really want to say thank you for being here. I'll put her information in the comments if you'd like to help out. And this has been this has been a soul rejuvenation for me talking to you today here on intellectualradio.com. He said, she said with Wanda B.